Hey there folks, my name's Alex Jackson, and behind me is Betty, our 2006 Chevy Express 2500. I know it may not look like it, but it is in fact a delivery van. Over the past 4 months, my partner and I have been completely rebuilding this van to actually live out of it for the next 3 years. She's a Chevy Express 2500. She looks like she's 4-wheel drive, but she is not. She is just a 2-wheel drive. I put a 3-inch Well-Tech design spindle lift in there and mounted 285, 75, 16 mud terrains on the van, and that's why she's sitting so much higher, and she looks a lot more aggressive than she probably is. We went for kind of a retro look, so we went two-tone, and this paint is actually Raptor liner, so it's a texturized polyurethane, super tough bed liner paint. We installed a 17-inch TV top on the van, and we didn't go for a 24-inch top because we had to fit the van into a container. This used to be a big glass panel here, but the window did not open. One of the big problems that we have on the interior is ventilation, so we wanted a window that would open. So I took the old glass window in, replaced it with an aluminum sheet, and then put in this RV window, and the bottom half tilts. I also put tilting windows on the back doors, and the window that you saw on the other side of the van opens as well. So one of the challenges of having a fiberglass top is that if you want to mount anything on the top, you have to drill in through the fiberglass, which is really not ideal. So what I decided to do was make as few holes as possible by making a rack on the top. And it's an aluminum rack. It carries 330 watts of solar. We've got a large storage box right here. This is responsible for storing all of my recovery gear and also our propane. I wanted a solution that would allow us to carry a surfboard, but not really drill into the side of the van, or as little as possible. So these aluminum bars here, they mount onto the drip rail and then come down, and then I put rib nuts in the side, so this rack is nice and secure. We also have a solar shower here. This is just a good old PVC pipe with a Schrader valve at the top and a tap at the back, and we can shower after being in the ocean. Over here, we just have our external power ports. This is 120 for shore power. We have an inverter charger inside, and then this is for an additional solar panel. This is a custom built steel bumper by myself, and I wanted a very, very low profile, kind of lightweight and front bumper that allowed the best approach angle possible. Last year, we went on like a 5.5, 6 month trip down to the States and down to Baja. And while we were traveling on that trip, we decided that we wanted to live out of the van for a long time, and we wanted to do the PanAmerica highway. But we knew that we had to kind of do a lot of refitting of the van, and we knew that we were going to be in really hot places, really cold places, and we knew that the van was like really not perfectly suited for really, really long-term travel. And so that's what prompted the rebuild, and we're going down to Mexico again this winter, and then as of the summer, we're going to go all the way up north to Tuktoyaktuk in Northwest Territories, Canada, and then at the end of the summer, we will be going all the way down to Argentina. In the doorway, you will see what we call our water unit. This is responsible for holding 3 jerry cans. As well, we have our sink that is fed by a 12-volt water pump. We just turn it on right here. All of our water is run through a 2-stage water filtration system by ClearSource. We have a 5 micron and a 0.2 micron medical grade water filter. We just have some switches here. This is for our exterior light, and this is for our interior light. I put all the switches easily accessible from outside of the van, because of course if you're getting into your van at night, it's really good to go in and turn on your lights from outside before you get in. Here we have just basic drawers for extra things, and then we have our little coffee cubby up here. We have a closet with hangers and mirror. We have our toilet cabinet. This is a company called Boxio. They're from Rostock, Germany. They design a very, very like low profile, lightweight, and budget friendly composting dry toilet. So yeah, you got a place to poop here, which is always important. We have this on board mainly because we want to be able to stay the night in cities and not have to worry necessarily about where we're parking, if it's close to a bathroom or not. We have something called a pee funnel, and it's for when we're out in the wild and we don't want to get out of the van at night. Megan has a location to go pee right here. So you pull this out and you have a place to pee. And this, yeah, it's just like a nice little addition. You know, you don't think about these things until you live out of a van for a while. So this right here, as you can likely guess, is a 12-volt refrigerator. We decided to put the refrigerator right in the center just because, one, it's a great place. It also doubles as a center console. And I just put a wood top on it because it looks nice, but it also helps with insulating. What has happened in the past is the top of the fridge would get really, really hot. What the high top afforded us was a lot more vertical space, and I wanted to use that to the best of my abilities. And so I gave us a large storage space underneath the bed by bringing it up about 10 inches or 11 inches or so. Of course, what happens when you do that is you get kind of past the natural sitting height of a human being. So what I did is I put this platform here, which gets your feet higher and your knees at a nice angle, and it actually afforded us, you know, storage space. So you have storage under here and storage under there. I'm actually right now sitting on the bed, and this bed folds out into a full 6.5 foot long by 4 foot bed that you know, sleeps me and Megan just fine. The bed is very easy to like put into bed mode. So you just flip this out. This is just a little bit of extra support, and then all I really need to do is lift and pull, and there's a bed. Of course, Meg will go in there and make it up because she enjoys doing that. And then when I want to take it and put it back to couch mode, I have a little pull tab right here and a little pull tab right here. And so all I have to do is pull like this. There you go. So we have actually two heat sources in this van. We'll start with what you see right here. This is our teeny tiny little stove. We call it Tiny Tim. So to keep this little stove fueled, I have a big, robust wood storage underneath. And I can actually store like a solid 2 days worth of wood in here. And then I have another compartment right here just for all of our kindling. Our other heat source is a Propex S2211 forced air heater, and you can find that in here, down in there, and that is just for on-demand heat. Laundry hamper, so we just stick all our dirty laundry in there. Megan has kind of like a clothes nook right beside her bed here, and then this is her clothes storage up here, and it also wraps around back here. and then I get this little guy right here for all of my clothes. If you look in here, there's actually like USB ports on USB ports in here, as well as a 120 volts outlet right there, so that I can charge all of my camera batteries and not see them all the time, which is a big bonus because if you live in a van, you know how cluttered it can get inside, and I just wanted to reduce that clutter as much as possible. This propane stove is like a 2-burner propane stove that we found on Amazon. I searched for so long trying to find the perfect stovetop, and then just randomly happened upon this on Amazon.com. Meg loves to cook. She's Indian as well, and she loves her spices. So she has demanded in each of the builds that I have made that there is a spice rack. And so I make sure that there's always a spice rack for all of her spices. So you would think, oh, the dishes are out in the open, they're gonna fall out. Well, I actually made them so that they lock in place. And, you know, these things don't move. You can't get them out, right? But if you know how to take them out, they're actually really easy. And yeah, I just, you know, I had a little bit of fun with it. It took me half a day to build and to figure out how to lock all of these in place so that they wouldn't fall out. And, you know, we've been, you know, down some BC FSRs and they haven't rattled and they haven't fallen out. The whole front of the high top is all food storage. So Megan has absolutely crammed this full of food, and I'm not sure, we've probably got like a solid week's or more worth of food in the front here. Also, I lined the interior of this like compartment with cedar, and you stick your head in there and it just smells so good. So underneath in here, as I mentioned, this is our water unit. We have an inset sink on the top, and you know, like this comes out at pretty good pressure. It's all, you know, just powered by or fed by a 12-volt water pump. And then down here we have 3 jerry cans, and what I've done with the tops is I've put a quick release on the top of them. Oops. Okay, there's water in there. And I can just move them from jerry can to jerry can really easy. One thing that I wanted to do in the van was put a lot of natural wood and hardwood trim and accents. So you can see these countertops here, I actually made these. These are spalted maple countertops. I've got a little bit of live edge here. All the trim is spalted maple. And then the floor is actually Douglas fir, and my dad had a bunch of Douglas fir boards that he had in the shop, and I just cut them all down and made my own hardwood flooring out of it. And then I have like driftwood handles that I got actually from right here, this this very beach that's just outside. This rear bumper as well I built. Just got 2 swing outs. Also, when the bed is in couch mode, all of our bedding just goes on this little platform back here. We call this our bed burrito because everything is just wrapped up in a sheet. And then underneath, I have a full complement of tools. We have a stand-up paddle board, all of our backpacking gear, some beer, you know, extra water, camping stuff, everything that we need to be on the road for a long period of time. I ran 120-volt power back here, so there's actually a plug in the back so that I can charge all my DeWalt batteries. So I made the strategic decision to put the electrical system behind the driver's seat, and this just allows the system to be covered up but still very, very accessible in the event of an emergency. Also, it's space that was kind of dead space, and so I figured throw an electrical system in there. We initially wanted to flat mount our Starlink, but then I started looking into the cost of doing it and then also converting it to 12 volt. And with the amount of time that I had and the amount of money that I had, it was like, I don't know if I can justify this modification. So instead, I went to the scrap bin that was full of aluminum. I found a piece of tube and I welded it to the roof rack. And now we just put our Starlink up there. We don't have to carry 75 feet of cord around. I kind of got addicted to travel back in 2016, and I traveled initially in a rooftop tent on the back of a Tacoma, and then it slowly started to evolve, and then I realized I want to be in these remote places surrounded by beautiful nature and stuff, but I also kind of want to be protected from the elements. And a van kind of checked all the boxes you've seen that I can stuff like all of my creature comforts inside of the van. Believe it or not, I'm a homebody. Like I like to have a sliver of home wherever I go, and so those, you know, a van and the outdoors combined, it kind of solves that equation, I guess. Megan and I, we do have a YouTube channel. You can find us at Roamlander, that's ROAMLNDR, or you can type in Slow Roamers as well and you'll find our channel. But everything else, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and my website can all be found at Roamlander. And yeah, we shoot and publish weekly videos, and I try and get as many photos up on my Instagram as possible. I love taking photos of beautiful places as well as the van and sharing our stories.
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend. Also, if you want to watch more alternative dwellings, we got a playlist popping up right here, and we release new episodes every single Sunday, so consider subscribing.